Hi, and welcome back to Inspired Alchemy with Lizzie. This is episode 33, and I'm calling it the madness of alchemy. And it is because of the weekend that I had, and the title was inspired by a friend. So I don't even know how this is going to go, and I know I say that a lot because I kind of just talk about whatever it is I feel called to talk about. Sometimes I know a little bit better than other times that I know what I'm going to talk about. But I think I'll take you through some stuff that happened this weekend. So I am, at my core, I'm an unwanted and unlovable as my core wounds. And I've been feeling a lot of things shift lately. And a lot of people are shifting around me. And there is something that I have seen coming for a long time. And I really won't go into detail about it, but I am going to speak about my experience because I told you guys I'm going to heal out loud so that way other people can take my story and hopefully not feel alone. So, at my core, unwanted and unlovable. And this goes back to my childhood, and I'm not sure, I can't remember if I've shared this before or not. But I think that it is relevant as it comes to the story that I'm going to tell about this weekend. My whole life, my mom was young when she had me. I know I've said that before. She was 16, which means she got pregnant when she was 15. And I know it must have been really scary for her to be a young mom, especially in the South, especially in a really religious family from a small, small town. I get it. And I am not condoning her behavior towards me my entire life, but I'm also understanding of it. I've chosen my path. She's chosen her path. And again, I won't go deep into that, but there was something that she used to do, and I believe that it comes from the shame that she had getting pregnant so young that she carried around with her. And I think a part of her was very angry at me for being born, even though it was anger that was misplaced. I was a child, I was a baby. And a lot of my life, well, a lot, almost every day of my life, I was told that I was lucky to be here. I was lucky to be alive. I was lucky that she kept me. If you read between the lines, you'll understand what I mean. And I was also told that I wouldn't have my daughter if it weren't for her, because she decided to keep me earth side. And so my whole life, I grew up feeling like I was a burden. And one of my awarenesses lately came in that the reason that I'm I've said this before, a reason that I'm scared to be my too much is because even me being born was too much. My existence, the fact that I was living and breathing was too much. So beyond that was even too much muchness, if that's a thing. And so I was very unwanted. More unwanted than unlovable, because I know people can love me, but then I do become too much, or I become too intense, or I become too much, too of anything. And they decide to take a step back. And that's okay. I understand. But some of the awarenesses that came around this week and over this weekend, as I will go into that story, was it created a huge shift within me. And so like I said, there's something that happened that I had seen coming for a while. And it's a family matter, so I won't really go too deep into it to keep privacy. But somebody I've been part of family for 22 years, somebody who, people who have been family to me, decided I was the villain. I knew this was coming. They decided that my existence was ruining their lives. And as I'm telling this story, I can feel my body start to react. And I'm telling you this because it happens as it happens in real time. I want you to see what it's like for me as I process these things. My body is shaking. I've spent a few days processing already, but I'm still not okay, which is why I'm recording this super late. But consistency and action create clarity, and I promised that I would get these out for myself and for everyone else. And while some people would say take a break, I can't. I can't drop off of consistency for my own sanity. So I was told these things this weekend. I was deleted from lives that once told me that they loved me and that they cared about me. But I started to really step into my authenticity. I started to step into my sovereignty. And because of that, the people around me have done the same. And that became my fault, that they could no longer be controlled. And that triggered every wound that I had from when I was a child. And the only person I could think of to call was my dad. My dad is a very even, level headed man. He will tell you how things are, but he will be kind about it. But when I called my dad, I'm the kid that nobody really needs to worry about. um so when I called my dad and I told him, he's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "I need a second." And I could barely breathe. And so I started telling him how I was feeling. And as I'm telling him this, I knew it was a self-sabotage loop. And I understood and I could intellectualize what was happening, but I couldn't stop it because it was an automatic reaction to my nervous system and an automatic reaction to a deep rooted trigger. So I'm telling him how I'm feeling. And like I said, I know that it's not true, but at the same time, I can't stop it because I'm in pain. And so he stops. After I'm done talking, he goes, "I'm going to pull the dad card." He goes, "You're not, this is not allowed to be the narrative of this conversation." He goes, "Everything that you were told your entire life, that's not allowed right now." He goes, "You help people out of these situations." He goes, what are you doing to yourself?" And I'm like, "I know you're right." I'm like, it was a deep rooted trigger instinct to react the way that I am. I couldn't stop it. I was hurting. And pretty much by the time I was done talking to him, I was back to myself. And I knew that I was going to have to process, and I knew it was going to take a while. And I knew that I would have to move through things because this was very, very deep within me. And so the next day, I just spent existing again. I just existed. I allowed myself to be. I wasn't on social media, even though it's part of my peak performance tracking to be on social media every day. I took a break. that I did do. I took a break from it. And really, today is the first day that I'm kind of feeling back to normalish. After I was done talking to my dad, I felt normal. But then I've had to move through all these stages of grief of the fact that I knew that I was going to be lashed out at. I was going to be blamed. I was going to be the villain. It was just a matter of time, of knowing. And so I am actively processing all of these things. I am recognizing the emotions I'm feeling and I'm trying to process them and move through them and sit with them if that's what I need to do. But I'm making sure that I do not become them. Because when I start to become my emotions, I start the self sabotage loops. And they wanted to start, but I stopped them. I wanted to go into hermit mode, which is normal when you're in pain. But for me, I know if I go into hermit mode, I can disconnect very quickly. And I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to disconnect from the people that I love and that I care about. And so I just allowed myself to sit in it and be aware. What does my body need in this moment? What does my soul need in this moment? What kind of conversations do I need to have? Do I want to have? What do I desire? What is it that's going to help me move through this? Is there a specific meal? Is there a specific beverage? Is there a specific action? Or is no action needed? Because we don't always have to do things. And I know a big part of this is my evolution. The more I step into my authenticity and the more I step into I just don't give a fuck. And I know that I don't normally cuss on this because I don't know if kids are listening, but my mouth is one that I'm a sailor's daughter. And that's all I'm going to say about that. But I just don't care anymore. I don't care if I'm too much. This was the straw that broke the camel's back, pretty much. And I will continue to move forward in a way that I feel is right for me and my life, period. And I think you come to that point. And the more I do this, the more I step into my authenticity, the more I step into my sovereignty as a human being, the more I can see other things aligning. And while things at the time might not make sense, they make sense. I've had so many people. Here I am in the throes of thinking that I'm some kind of villain. I'm some kind of horrible person. I've had so many people reach out to me in the past couple of days telling me thank you. And I'm not saying this to pad my ego at all. That's not what I'm doing. I'm going to tell you this because we have to be aware of the signs that we're getting that we are still in alignment, no matter how much something is hurting. I've had people reach out to me telling me how much I've helped them, that I'm a wonderful human being, that I'm all of these things. And even though I just see me as being me, I don't see anything that I do as extra special. Those are still signs to me that I'm in alignment and I'm still evolving in a forward trajectory. And it's important to understand these things and to be able to move through them, not bypass them, but feel them and move through them. And even though it was a quick conversation this morning, I had a conversation with someone that I follow on social media, and she does amazing work. She does amazing energy work. She's a massage therapist, all of these things. She's constantly helping people. And she is, even though I haven't met her in person, she's seemingly a beautiful human being. And I had a conversation with her, and I think that we told each other things that we needed to hear to know that we're still in alignment. I know that whatever I'm going through right now, because it has shown itself so many times to be true, that whatever I'm going through now is because I will need those keys and codes to help somebody else down the road. And while this is not specific to the other story that I told, another thing that shows me that I'm in alignment is that there was a situation that happened yesterday. And I'm going through it. And I had somebody that's become a friend message me with the same exact issue happening. And she reached out to me going, how would you handle this? And I go, it's funny that you are asking me because I'm dealing with that at this exact moment. So whatever we're going through, it can be alchemized to help others, ourselves and others. I started out doing this work so that my daughter would have a mother that she deserved. I'm now doing this work so my daughter can still have a mother that she deserves as she gets older, because she is an amazing human being. I'm also doing this work because I know I deserve a better life. I wouldn't have said that in the past. I didn't think I was deserving or worthy of anything. But I deserve to live a life where I feel alive, where I feel passion, where I feel whole as a person. Everybody deserves that. And I also do this work so that I can share my story again, so that even if it's just one person, they don't feel alone. In the past, I would have said, I'm broken. Why does everybody leave? Or I'm broken. Why can't I do anything right? But I didn't go down that road this time. And primarily, it's the healing that I've done, but it's also because at the end of every single one of these, I remind you all that you're not broken. And I refuse to be a hypocrite. So, thank you for being here with me. No matter what anyone tries to make you believe, you are not broken. You are not too much. There are people out there who accept you, who will accept you in your too muchness. And if you haven't met them yet, keep searching. I can promise you they are there. I didn't have that hope either. But now I do. Because I have some very beautiful people in my life that have become very important to me. And I'm pretty sure that you're important in someone's life that you don't even know yet. So keep going, because you aren't broken. No matter what society tries to tell you, no matter what your family tries to tell you, you are an alchemist if you are here. And you can transmute that pain into something beautiful. And that's all I have for you today. If you're looking for a community of people who are there to support you and see you and lift you up when you're feeling down, a place of mutual respect, non-judgment, come visit us in the Inspired Alchemy Collective. We want you there. I know there was something else that I wanted to say, but it's slipping my mind. So thank you for being here with me. Thank you for spending your time with me. Time is a precious resource, and I do not take you sharing your time, energy, and space with me lightly. So thank you. Keep creating alchemy. And until next time.